guys, how have you been? Welcome to Guilt-Free Mind. I am Dr. Shruti and today's topic of discussion is grief. Now, before I actually get into the discussion about grief and the stages, I would like to remind you that if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so now, and also set the notification bell to all. It was not going to cost you anything and it will help me keep making these videos. Thank you so much. Also, if you have any queries about mental health, if you want to ask me a question or just discuss about your issues, you can reach me live on Twitch. I do mental health sessions every Tuesdays and Fridays from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. I also do co-working sessions every day, so if you're finding it hard to focus on your studies or just demotivated to work long hours, you can reach me on Twitch. Mostly my co-working sessions are 8 to 10 hours long, so that's plenty of time for you to get your work done. And now, well, let's get into the video. There have been many studies done on grief. Now, some studies say that grief is a 5-stage process. Some say that it's a 7-stage process. In this video, I will be discussing the 5 stages of grief. Now, the stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally, acceptance. The aim of this video is to show you what each of these stages looks and feels like. If you feel that you have been stuck in one stage for quite some time, as in for more than a period of 3 or 4 months, you should probably consult a psychologist. Not that there is any timeline for grieving. This is not what I intend to say, but if you feel that you are not able to move on from one stage to another, that is when you should get a consult from a psychologist. They can help you find out why you are stuck and how to actually move on to the next stage. Now with that, let's get into the first stage of grieving, which is denial. Before I actually start discussing this, I figured that I do not actually talk about what grief is or when does it manifest. Now, grief is not something that you feel only when you lose a loved one to death. Grief can also be felt when a relationship ends. Suppose you break up with your boyfriend. The first thing that you will feel is that, oh my god, this cannot be happening to me. This is so not happening. It'll all get better tomorrow. It's just a bad dream that I'm going through and stuff like that. It is denial. And that brings us to the first step. Yes, denial. Whether you lose a loved one or it's a relationship that ends or it's a friendship that breaks, the first thing that our brain tells us to protect us is, that didn't happen to me. That is just a bad dream. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and everything will just be fine. Or if you've been laid off your job, then it's like, oh, they'll realize the mistake. They will call me up tomorrow. They cannot lose a person like me. I'm so important. How are they going to survive without me? So, just chill. By tomorrow, it'll all be fine and sort it out. If you've had a broken relationship, then the person's gonna call me back because I am just too valuable and I am too amazing, and the person's not gonna find anyone like me and stuff like that. If it's the loss of a loved one, sometimes even when they're even when they are in front of us, passed on, and during the funeral and stuff, people keep saying, oh, looks like the person will just wake up and walk towards us. So that is basically the first part of grief, or the first stage. It's denial. The brain engages in this to protect you from the barrage of emotion that threatens to just cover up your brain. So brain has to put a lid on everything and allow emotions to slowly seep in. That is why the first step is denial. Now moving on to the second stage, that's anger. Now when you start feeling angry, you feel that why did this happen to me? Some of the emotions have seeped in and you're angry at the whole situation because you don't want to be stuck up in that. You don't want to feel that this happened to you. So the brain, you move on from the stage of denial and you're like, okay, this happened, but it shouldn't have happened. So If it's a broken relationship, you start thinking, oh, it's that person's loss. He or she will never find someone as amazing as me. If it's loss of a job, then you blame the company. It's their, they are the ones who screwed up. I was never at fault and stuff like that. If a loved one left you, then you just feel, why so early? Why right now? Why? What the hell did I do to deserve all of this? So this is how anger feels like. And it is the second stage in grieving. Now, coming to the third stage, that is bargaining. There are many ways we try to make peace with what we are facing. Now, one way is bargaining. Some people turn to God for this stage. Some people turn to their closed ones. A lot of people find their spirituality healing and helping them through this state. So people may confront God and ask, why this happened to me. Okay, I will stop drinking, or I will, give up this in my life or give up that in my life if, you just bring that person back. Even though they know it's like not possible, but still, they just want to hold on to a figment of the hope. That's all they want. So they turn to God, or they, go back to the company that they've been laid off from and try to negotiate a way back in and stuff like that. If it is an ended relationship, then this would be the stage when that person calls up the other person and, tries to mend things. Now, when that doesn't happen, eventually people move on to the fourth stage of grieving, that's depression. This is possibly the longest stage. A lot of people get stuck in this stage. Therefore, if you're feeling like you are, stuck in that stage of depression for a very long period, you should consult a psychologist. You don't have to go through this alone. You are not alone. There are people who can help you, and all you have to do is basically just reach your hand out. So what happens in depression? Let's look at that. So in depression, what happens is you are basically stuck in this cocoon where you don't feel anything. A lot of people have reported feeling numb. They're just like, suspended. They're going about their day-to-day lives. They are doing things, but it's like, I just don't want to feel anything. I just don't want to care about anything. I just want to be left alone. This is how depression manifests itself as. Now, depression cannot actually be very easily defined. Sometimes people get stuck in anxiety, have panic attacks, and a variety of other factors can also be associated with this stage. But it's probably because they are still grieving. They still, it's like everything goes on, like the anger, the betrayal, the denial, everything that they felt is there. It's just like a low-key emotion, like going on in the background, like a loop in their head. They may stop functioning normally. They may withdraw from the society. They may try to, just stay away from people because they don't want to get close to anyone, because that person might just leave them, or they may face an ended relationship again. If it's a job that they've been laid off from, they may not want to apply for another job, and just like, what's the point? I'm just gonna lose it again. If it's a person, they may feel that what's the point of falling in love? This person's gonna leave me again. If it is if they have been laid off a job, they may feel they'll fire me again. Like, why should I even apply? Why should I bother? Even why go through all the hassle and stuff like that? So this is how their mind starts to process things at this stage. Now, as I mentioned, depression can take months or even years for the person to come out of. What they deserve is your support, your complete unconditional support. Just don't let your loved ones shut you out during such a difficult time. Now, once the person moves through the stage of depression, they reach the stage of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean that they are like, okay, so and so person died and I'm okay to move on. We don't really move on, okay? This is a myth that's there, that we move on. Make it sounds like, we are forgetting people. We don't forget. We just learn to live with that pain permanently. That pain is always low-key in the background. It's not going away, but we learn to cope with it and to go about our daily lives. We don't forget that person. We don't feel, like, okay, that person was never a part of our life. The person's not erased. We just learn to, hang on to the good memories and keep moving forward one step at a time, one day after another. These are the 5 stages of grief. Now, as I said before, other schools of thoughts have also said that there could be 7 stages of grief or the 9 stages of grief, but this video focuses on the 5 stages. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment section. Have you ever faced grief over anything? And as I said, it is not necessarily the loss of a loved one to death. Many factors can induce grief in people. Did you ever feel like you were stuck in a particular phase, or couldn't move on? What did you do then? How did you get yourself up and about? What did you do? The reason I'm asking you to share your experience is because your courage and motivation can probably motivate someone else to reach out for the help that they desperately need. We all have skeletons in our closet. There's no point denying that, we've never faced grief, or we don't need a helping hand when it comes to mental health. We don't have stress in our lives. It's just people don't want to talk. That's okay. That's their perspective. But the more we share, the more we can destigmatize mental health and make the world a better place for all of us. So please share your experiences in the comment section so that others can also know what you've been through and how you came out of it on the other side stronger than ever. With that, I take my leave, and I would like to take this opportunity to remind you again, if you haven't pressed the subscribe button, please do so now. Give this video a huge like and leave your comments. That will boost the video in YouTube's algorithm and allow more people to gain access to this video. So please help me out here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Also, if you've got any queries, you can reach me live on Twitch. The blog link will be in the description, so go check out the blog Guilt Free Mind. Subscribe to the blog as well so that you can keep receiving regular updates about mental health tips and tricks. With that, bye bye, take care. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.